Here is a list of items in alphabetical order, okay, some accounts. What they want us to do is to create a balance sheet in good form. Now when you do a balance sheet, you have to prepare them in order of liquidity. Same thing with liabilities. The quicker you're going to pay something off or the quicker you're going to get something, the higher it's going to be. So the first thing that I would do is I would go through and label what type of account each of these are. So accounts payable, we know, is going to be a current liability. So I'm just going to mark that with CL for current liability. Accounts receivable, well, that's a current asset. Cash, that's also a current asset because, well, that is cash. That is the most liquid that you can have. Common stock is owner's equity. And retained earnings is also owner's equity. So let's start this in good format here. So we'd have I'm going to skip the heading and we'll just start off with our assets. And then we're going to have cash. And then we're going to have our accounts receivable. Which was, so we used cash. I'm just going to mark these off as we use them. And then accounts receivable, which was 71,000. Now that gives me those are all my assets. So I'm going to just total those up. And that's going to be my total assets. Okay, and I'll just make this a little prettier by centering it there. Now we're going to have to do our liabilities. So our liabilities, we only had one, which was our current liability of accounts payable. So we have accounts payable for 65,000. Okay. Now we're going to do our stockholders' equity section. And what we have for that is common stock goes first. So I'll have my, let me see here, let me center this and make this look pretty also. So we have our common stock, which is 18,000. And then we have our retained earnings for 10,000. Okay, see, so by marking them off as we use them, we can see that we've used everything. Okay, so now we're going to add those together. And that's my total stockholders' equity. And then when we add those together, so I'm going to add my current assets, or I'm sorry, I'm going to add my liabilities and my owner's equity together, and that's going to give me my total liabilities and stockholders' equity. I'm just going to abbreviate it by putting stockholders' equity. Now, when I'm done, this better balance. My current asset, my total assets should equal my total liabilities, and they do. Okay, you can see how that 93 is equal to that 93. Okay, so this is just a simple balance sheet, but you got your assets and your liabilities and your stockholders' equity.